My name is Norman Bates. I'm just a normal guy. My name is Norman Bates. Do you want to play? It's party time. We gotta play. It's party time. Do you want to play? It's party time.
Welcome to the final installment of the PSYCHO Retrospective. It has been a long journey, and oddly enough, it was only 3 movies, but God, how many hours has it been? 2 hours, 2 hours, and
Wow, yeah.
almost 4.5 hours? How the hell did we talk about 3 movies for 4.5 hours?
Awesome start. Unfortunately, we have to end it on 4. Fuck.
But we're still gonna, dude. We're going the distance though. I'm gonna clock in over an hour here. You watch. Yeah, it's not gonna end off on the greatest note, but then we'll wrap up the show. But here, before we even do this, let's just make a confession now. This is we're recording this intro after we recorded the exit of this show, and the reason is it's very simple. We were gonna finish. We were only gonna have 2 parts to the PSYCHO Retrospective, but as I was producing it and I was dragging things in, and I saw where it clocked in, just reviewing PSYCHO 3 after the intro, and a couple bits we played, songs and stuff, it was at 2 hours already. So I was like, that's plenty of time for one show. And if we put PSYCHO 4 in there, and then the remake stuff we did, it would be like 4 hours or something.
Yeah, one of the toughest parts of doing all this, bro, is not the the actual reviews and getting into stuff. It's packaging, doing all that shit, packaging, fucking teabagging and all that shit. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, so the exit of this show was recorded to be the exit of the last show, but since we couldn't put them all into one show, we're just going to have to keep that exit. But, that's alright, though. Who cares?
It's all good, man.
So we might say stuff that's like a week outdated.
Who cares?
Who cares?
I don't remember
man?
what I did yesterday, dude. I don't remember what I had for breakfast. Are you eating pizza?
No, I'm eating
Pizza. Remember that?
macaroni and cheese, actually.
Oh, dude, I had that for dinner, too. Wow.
We are high class, buddy.
Wow. That's been happening a lot lately, even more, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, on a different show, because
Right.
nobody wants to hear about it in this one, but we will get in. We've had a lot of those things.
Oh.
We just want to thank you guys. I mean, we've never had so much feedback on a retrospective ever. And I got really nice emails. People wrote a lot of nice things all over Facebook. They even, posted just in their own thing on the wall instead of just putting it to the show's post because they really wanted to emphasize. So that's really nice, and a lot of people like it. Even people who have been listening forever think it was our best show, the first one, and I didn't get feedback on the second for that person, but I did get a really nice email, and they said you better read this on the show because everyone deserves to know.
Oh.
So this is nice. This is from Rickety. I guess that's a playoff of maybe their name is Ricky or something. And like a rickety old bitch. No? I don't know. Listen, I don't know these people. I'm just trying to guess. All right.
Biatch.
So, hey guys, been listening since day one, and I must say the PSYCHO shows might be your best stuff. The strange thing is, I thought your Texas Chainsaw retrospective was going to be your peak. Seems to have only been the beginning.
Wow.
With the PSYCHO retrospective and everything done prior, you have cemented yourselves as arguably the best horror podcast to date.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Who wrote that?
Isn't that crazy? Really glad, Rickety.
Really glad, Rickety. Dude, that's awesome, man. Thank you. That's, wow, dude. That's
like the nicest thing. Really glad because I knew there was something different about your show since day one. See, that's weird. People have been listening since day one and stuff. That freaks me out, because me and Dan talked about that. Like, we went through that little weird lull period, and things weren't that great. The show seemed to be kind of falling apart. And those people who, like, made it through those, it was only, like, 2, though.
Right.
But still, I mean, making it through those and saying, I don't know.
It's not like it was days of our lives.
As the world turns.
They have a lot of bad shows in a row, so...
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
And ours were just not that great, but theirs weren't horrible. But, things looked like they were going wrong. And for those people who really stuck by and, saw if we'd bounce back or not, that means everything,
Have you ever heard from Rickety before, or is this the first?
No, I've never heard of that before.
Wow. Well, then I love that. I love coaxing the lurkers out.
Yeah, listening since day one. How come?
Talk to us. I love to interact with the listeners. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, say more stuff so we could make ourselves feel better about broadcasting it.
I
just
often
like to know
touch my nipples.
I just like to know who's out there, I like to get to know people.
What freaks me out is when I'm having conversations with people, they mention the show and something we said in it. I'm like, you listen?
Yeah, right, dude? Oh, that'll never get old, bro.
I love them so much because of them. Because I can't remember anything. I was like, I don't remember what show it was that I said blah, blah, blah. And if I'm talking to a regular listener, they'll be like, oh, you said this on this show. And I love them, because without them, I would be totally lost.
That's happened to me, too. Yeah, dude. Yep.
Yeah, we got some cool people like Dave have been going back. He's listening to the Jump the Shark Part 1, and he was asking about Texas Chainsaw 2, and he agreed that Freddy 4 was horrible. I love that. We don't ever want to go against the grain to be cool or whatever it is, but when we truly believe in it and it is against the grain, it's really cool to hear that other people are like, yeah, you know what, you're right. It really isn't that great.
And wasn't that like the culmination of our show? Like, I kind of like that movie, but you were just like, dude. And I was like, you know what, dude? You're kind of right. It's definitely a shit movie. And then we got into, I like it for nostalgic reasons and shit. But yeah, you're right.
Well, this next review might be one of them, because this show is also, the third installment is, again, sponsored by The Psycho Legacy, a DVD on all 4 Psycho movies. It's a documentary from Rob G. Pick it up at Amazon.com. He's been very supportive, posting our stuff all over the place. And we also want to thank thepsychomovies.com for them. They are also doing that for us. They're posting tons of stuff on their Facebook and things like that.
So many good, you see all over the place, people are saying such good things about the Psycho Legacy.
Oh my God, Jamie.
I love it. I love just every time I see something pop up and they're like, oh, this is so good,
Jamie, you want to see something pop up? What? We'll get my webcam going. I told you I saw that shit, right? I tell you? I watched it like 2 weeks ago. Did I tell you that? A week ago? This isn't a joke, don't laugh. I watched The Bates Motel. It was amazing. You must see it. When does it come out?
Just laughing.
No, I know you're laughing, but hey, what's today? Dude, it comes out like in 2 days, right?
Well, I'm going to be releasing this.
Yeah. I mean, it comes out today.
Somebody mentioned something. Jason mentioned he agreed with Jamie that ice machine bit was stupid. I think Dan also thought it was stupid. And one of the things he said was that guy would have tasted the blood. And I beg to differ. I should have thought of this when I said it to him. I should have thought of it when you guys said it. He would not have tasted the blood. If you put ice in your mouth and you're just rolling it around on your tongue, what you're actually doing is desensitizing your taste buds. Like, you could actually win contests of holding, like, Tabasco sauce in your mouth and things like that, or drinking really sour things and not making a face. If you put ice in your mouth for a little while, then you put that thing in, you don't really feel it. And you don't taste it. You're desensitizing.
No. That could, because you're right away. Before the ice had a chance to even do anything, you would taste it. Blood is very distinctive. And
no, but the first few pieces was that blood on it. We don't know that for sure. So let's just go with my theory. Be quiet.
Hey, but check
all
this
right,
out,
you don't
guys.
have to pull the chain so hard.
No.
I'm kidding. Hey, Dan, did a girl ever your with ice cubes in her mouth?
Yeah, dude, absolutely. What were the not Mentos? What were the Altoids?
Oh god, that old one.
Ooh, that ain't old for me.
Dude, that's like 2001 shit. Man.
Yeah, but hey,
You're still rocking the Altoid. Hey, at least your dick's breath isn't bad.
I didn't say I was rocking it, but oh Lord, that was like my memories of a couple of years.
All right. Well, let's get to Psycho 4.
You have to alternate ice and then warm, like warm water, and then warm water.
Oh, that's too much for me. I couldn't. My penis would be confused.
What's going on? Huh? I don't get it. What? Huh?
That's okay. I'll straighten it out.
Every time I put a condom on my dick, it's like, what are we, robbing a fucking bank? Jesus Christ.
You watch the teller. I'll get the guy in the bed.
But we didn't say this at the end of the show. I know this for a fact. Let's just make 2 quick announcements.
Right.
The next show we will be hitting on is, I know it's back-to-back retrospectives, but hey, what the hell.
I think we have just turned into a retrospective show.
Well, the next show after that will be a retrospective on our show.
Ooh.
It's the 1-year anniversary, folks. Alright, well this will be Psycho 4, the end of the retrospective. So everybody, the next show we have after this, I'm sure we touch on it somewhere at the end of the show, is the Evil Dead retrospective. And almost immediately after that, we have the 1-year show, which is going to be the 50th show. So the big 50, the big 50, the big 1 year. And then after that, we finish off the retrospective with the new Evil Dead, and then we wrap it all up. Alright, so call our voicemail, leave a message, be a part of the 1-year show, 908-854-4500. It's posted under every single show.
Sir.
You should not have any trouble finding that. So.
I just did.
We're looking for it.
I was just there, and I was like, fuck, Alex beat me. God damn it.
Ha! Alright, so let's get to Psycho 4.
Yeah, buddy.
Do we love it? Do we hate it? Do we cut it slack? Or do we want them to take it back? Alright, let's get out of here.
In 1960, Alfred Hitchcock created a film that is perhaps the most terrifying thriller of all time. Psycho. Now, come answers to the questions audiences have been asking for over 30 years. Psycho 4, The Beginning.
This is Fran Ambrose on KTK, Talk of the Town.
I called because the focus of your show tonight is what makes boys kill their mothers.
Are you saying you killed your mother?
I killed some other women, too.
You want to tell us about your mother, how she drove you to become what you became?
She'd be sweet one moment, and then she'd suddenly turn mean. Don't you have any respect for the dead?
How did it all start?
What are you doing here?
We're gonna wake up your mother.
Killed her.
I can't, no.
Then I'll do it for you.
What makes Norman Bates kill?
Look at yourself, boy. Ha! Girl. Yes, girl. Mama's little girl.
How'd you kill your mother?
Slowly.
Will this be the end of Norman Bates?
Oh, I've killed before. And now I'm going to have to do it again.
Or is it only the beginning? Psycho 4, The Beginning. Anthony Perkins stars, with Olivia Hussey, C.C.H. Pounder, and Henry Thomas as young Norman Bates. Psycho 4, The Beginning, on videocassette.
Psycho 4. This movie came out November 10th, 1990, and it was a Showtime movie.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, like, it's not even straight to friggin' DVD or VHS. This is straight to television, dude. Like, is that worse? What do you think?
Yes.
That's worse? Okay.
And then at the same time, they killed everybody's dreams about whatever happened to Elliot when he would grow up.
Uh-huh.
Right. I mean,
right.
So I'm glad to see that, he doesn't do a lot, but Henry Thomas has been, he was in Dead Birds, which I thought he was really good in. I love that movie. And there's some other horror film he was in really recently, and I can't remember now what it was, but, he's been out there here and there.
he's a great actor, man, and I thought he did a great job in this movie.
Yeah. All right, well, we got Anthony Perkins returning as Norman Bates for the last time. We have Henry Thomas, which you just mentioned, as the young Norman Bates. This is a prequel. We have Olivia Hussey from Black Christmas, which we've reviewed on blah, 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 show.
With me!
With Jamie.
Yeah.
As Norma Bates, which I have an issue with right there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that name. I think that's ridiculous.
Ah.
But, okay, whatever. We have CCH Pounder as... as it was like, didn't Mike say that's like a special hamburger at like Burger World or some shit? As Fran Ambrose, who's just like us. She's a radio host.
Wow.
And the last guy I'll mention is Warren Frost as Dr. Leo Richmond. That is supposed to be the character at the end of Psycho when he explained everything about Norman. That's supposed to be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, 1990. Okay, 1990 was a weird year in horror. I mean, not a weird decade, really. I don't even know what was going on in 1990, man. But
I think, and I don't even know if it was 90, I think it was a couple years later, but the only thing around that time that was, like, remotely good, I don't know, you tell me, Jamie, what do you think? I think, for one, it was, like, Mute Witness was a good movie, but it just didn't really... I don't know. It was a reflection of the time, but around the 90s, dude, like early 90s, like you just said, 1990, 92, 90.
Isn't that when horror went wrong, sort of?
Well,
it's when horror became a bad word, and
right.
no one was making horror films for the theater. They were making thrillers, Silence of the Lambs and Seven, things like that.
You know what? You're so right, because It came out in 1990, and that was a TV miniseries.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, yeah.
But
so, wow, look at that.
It was a cool idea, but I thought as a movie it was kind of hokey, a little too hokey, but yeah.
Which one, It or Psycho 4?
Yeah, It.
It? Dude, we're going to do It one day.
I like it.
Sweet! I knew it. I knew I'd break you down eventually.
A lot of that Stephen King, though, man. A lot of that Stephen King adaptations onto TV and film, bro. They were just fucking...
You're wrong. I'm sorry. You're wrong, man. It was fucking great.
No,
dude.
you're wrong, Colonel Sanders.
It was great, Jamie. It was.
Jamie, don't you dare get his...
You know what did come out that year?
Yeah.
What?
Exorcist 3. And that is...
Oh, I thought you were going to say Little Richard.
He came out with that. Flatliners also came out that year, and The Guardian. I really like Flatliners, but see, that falls into the thriller category because it's not really a horror film. But
I guess looking back, it wasn't
Jacob's
bad.
Ladder, same thing.
Right.
Well, we all know what defined it in the late or mid '90s or whatever. But it's looked back on as kind of a down period. And if you look at it compared to post Scream and then the '80s, which was obviously everything, fucking Freddy, Jay's, all that shit, it was weak compared to those from what it was surrounded by. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So.
All right, well, let's get into it. So, what happens is, basically, the setup for this movie is Fran Ambrose, who I love in the movie, I think great character, is a radio host, like I said, and... God. All right. Everything seems a little forced in this movie. And it's just... I don't know. There's a lot of elements to the movie that's forced in a weird way. And... one of them is that, like, she's doing a show on matricide. Like, how many people do shows on that? Like, I could imagine even interviewing a guy who, like, did it, but, like, doing a 2-hour show or 3-hour show about guys who kill their moms. Like, that's just strange right away.
In the day of, like, podcasting, maybe now it's not that crazy, but back then, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. That's a weird topic. Like, that's really forced to squeeze Norman in here. But you see, I kind of appreciate it in a weird way. It's like...
Yep.
It's like, it's a prequel, so what is Norman going to do? Sit there and talk to a psychiatrist about his problems? Or let's take a different route and have him call into a show? I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know what's better, but it just seems weird. It just seems, like, strange. But you don't think about that when you watch it. You kind of take it for what it is. Like, I don't care. I'm fine with it. But
I love the whole radio aspect, dude.
Yeah.
And that's the only kind of salvation of this whole movie. And, you know.
Now, Dan, tell the truth. Is Fran better than Jamie or no?
I mean, come on, dude. With those boobs, no, nobody beats Jamie Jenkins. Come on.
Okay.
Get
I
with
was
it.
gonna say. Unless Fran did a video podcast, then maybe she'd top Jamie off.
You know, I don't know.
Oh, look at you going for the jugular.
I just want to say that thank you for donating to my site.
Jamie would have to elevate her game, which she's proven time and time again that she can do that. So I ain't stressed. How about you, Jamie? How about you?
Not one bit.
Okay, here's another weird forced aspect to the movie. It's like Norman's birthday. It's
He's
I guess it's-
married.
yeah, he's mad. Here's the thing. Okay, let's start from part 3.
I'd be so pissed if I had to go get my own cake.
And cook his own dinner.
Yeah,
right.
dude. Like, it's your birthday, man. Shit.
Yeah, Jesus, sweetie, take off a night.
Like, go get your own cake. It's like, my life sucks. Even though I got alive birds, my life sucks.
All right, but guys, let's go back to part 3 for this. All right. The cop said to Norman, Norman, I trusted you. You'll never get out again. Just like we just got done playing that clip.
Mm-hmm.
We just played that clip. So, he'll never get out again. He killed how many people in part 3, straight up, and suddenly he's just, okay, it's all cool, he's back out.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look much older. I mean, they didn't gray him up or anything.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
How is he out, living in a freaking mansion, and it's like, everything's cool, and some broad married this dude?
Right.
And he couldn't even bang Maureen, and now he's marrying this chick, knocking her up, and it's like, I don't know, man. It just seems like the character is just inconsistent to me on every level. It just seems crazy forced.
Well, you're right. And you said it, bro. Forced. Forced is the word.
Everything. You know, when we were preparing to talk about this movie, and, you know, I noticed that it was directed by Mick Garris, which...
Is that normally good?
Well...
Yes. Hocus Pocus, man. He's a good... I like him.
Yeah, I do like him. I like him. And, you know, you can find him. He's behind things like Masters of Horror and Fear Itself. And
he's a good player. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he is. And so I was like, all right, yeah, that should be. But then I was like, well, this is obviously fairly early on in his career and not very good. I mean, just there are those scenes where Alex, sorry, baby, I have you on the brain.
Ooh.
There are those scenes.
Psycho.
There are those scenes where Alex, what the fuck?
Wow, dude.
There are these scenes where Norman is looking directly at the camera. And he's got these wide eyes. I mean, like, they always do these crazy close-ups where he's like, his eyes are like, blah, you know, while he's...
I agree with that, and I just want to say that is so cool that you confuse me and him. That is, like, such an honor. Yeah, I mean, that is the best person to be confused with.
Yeah.
For me.
I do have you on the brain, and so there.
No, I don't think that's it. I think it was all that stuff I said about part 3. I think you think I'm insane. That's all right, though.
Okay, you're good. And he's done a lot of Stephen King adaptations. Desperation, Riding the Bullet, Bag of Bones. Bag of Bones, sadly, was not very good. I was disappointed in that. He also did he did a couple of episodes of Masters of Horror that he directed. Valerie on the Stairs, which I don't like. That's one of the episodes that I don't like at all. And Chocolate, which I I actually don't remember that one. But then I was like, well, damn, maybe he's not as good as I thought he was.
Yeah, right? You just saw the good stuff before.
Like, he's definitely a fan. He's definitely a good guy, and he did the 97 version of The Shining, which I really did like.
I love that, Jamie.
Yeah, and The Stand.
Yeah. Oh, we did The Stand?
Oh, and Sleepwalkers.
Wow.
So he has some interesting stuff out there, but he's kind of hit or miss. But this is, rather early on, and not good. Oh,
you don't like the directing?
Directing, there are some really bizarre choices in this. As a matter of fact, I was watching this with a friend of mine last night, and I was like, God, this movie's so bad. And she's like, yeah, it is. And I'm like, but this is what I want you to do. I was like, I want you to sit down and watch it. Like, I want you to watch this, because what's really bad about this are some of the directorial choices. I mean, like, what in the hell was he doing is what I have to say sometimes.
Do you know what scenes, like? Do you have anything in particular?
Mostly it was any time Norman was on the phone, which was pretty much the entire damn movie.
Right.
He was on the phone. It's like I said, with those weird close-ups that he would do. But
what about the cool scene when he was, like, laying on the floor as a kid and then he laid on the floor as an adult?
And the phone is, like, on the floor next to him. I think he regressed, while he was having that conversation. I think he...
so you buy into that part then. Okay, so what directing do you not like then?
I don't know. I don't really have anything other than, like I said, the weird close-ups. It's just watch it. It's weird looking. The whole thing is just bizarre. And, I mean, it's just, the lighting is weird in places. Some of the things that these characters do are so forced. I mean, they tried so difficult. They tried so hard to make a connection between the original Psycho and this Psycho. How many times was he going to use the word inordinately?
I know, And
I'm like, okay, she said that one time in the original movie, so now it's his catchphrase, and he's got to say it like 3 times, not inordinately, I get it,
And, a boy's best friend is his mother. He says that shit again, too, It
was every time you turn around, it was a callback to something from the first one, and it was just too in your face about it, and it wasn't necessary. We know who he is. We've all seen the first one. If you're watching this piece of crap, you've seen the first one. Right. So, you know the story. Also, I don't know. Like, I like Olivia Hussey a lot. Like, I've always liked her as an actor.
You don't like her?
No, I do like her.
And here, I mean.
No, I do like her in here, and I actually think she does a pretty good job of the voice,
Yeah, well, this was actually supposedly the first movie without that classic, the lady playing the mom's voice, because supposedly it was Olivia Hussey. But you know what? There are also scenes when it's like old mother, and I don't understand who's playing that part, but whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
I also feel like the sex angle on this was just
too much.
Dude.
It seems contrived. The whole thing seemed contrived.
Right.
That way.
The whole thing, yeah, like you said, forced, contrived, all that shit. It was just weird.
Words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we talked about Siskel and Ebert, how they talked about Psycho 3, and they actually liked it. I think it was the same guys. At this point, after this one, they said, "Good night, Norman."
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
even he didn't feel sincere to me. Like, I felt like he was phoning it in. Like,
no pun intended.
Literally.
I really didn't feel like he was there. Not.
Isn't that weird? He phoned it in on a movie where he phoned it in.
Phoned it in, yeah. And he didn't. Feel that he wasn't feeling his own character.
I thought his character was okay. See, I know what you mean about those shots and stuff, but I think he did an okay job. Yeah, you could tell that he wasn't really a part of it, but dude, I mean, okay, yeah, you're shooting a movie and you gotta fucking be on the phone the whole time. That's hard acting right there. I'm sorry, like, you're talking to nobody, I mean, I was probably talking to somebody, but you have nobody to interact with, dude? I mean, it's a hard gig. I fucking hate this movie, though. It sucks, dude.
Really?
Everything about it, dude.
All right, you know what? I have just checked out on Mick Garris permanently. He was one of the writers on The Fly, too. I have nothing more to do with him.
Well, he wrote this movie?
Just wrote him off?
He directed this movie. But, The Fly 2 is one of the most horrific films I've ever seen. Like, it is awful. Like, the whole dog thing, I can't do it.
Yeah, but I mean, Mick Garris is a director, dude. I don't know if he wrote The Fly 2 or whatever, but he directed this, right? Did he write this? Or,
no, he directed.
Okay, so a lot goes to I say credit, but a lot goes to the discredit of the fucking writers, man. I mean...
At the end, the director is the one who...
True.
Wait, real quick. You know who wrote this? The guy who wrote Psycho 1.
Fuck me running. Really?
The guy, Joseph Stefano?
Oh, okay.
Wow!
Yeah, he took Psycho 1. You know, Psycho was based on a novel.
Oh, God.
As you know, in the movie Hitchcock's, he actually bought every copy. I don't know if that's true, but he bought every copy of Psycho out of the stores.
Was that the guy? Oh, that was that character in the movie? That guy?
Yeah.
Kind of madman-looking guy?
Yeah. And he took that and he turned it into a movie form. So, that's... Dude, and here's the thing that doesn't make any sense about this. That same guy wrote this, yet there are inconsistencies up the ass. Like, things make no sense in this movie at all.
That's why I was so shocked.
What were some of them? Like, the Strychnine, the first two, it's in canister form, right? Because he reaches up for that can. It's like a powder, and then even when he kills Spool, it was in that can, and then suddenly it's in a liquid form in this movie. It's like a syrup. But, no, that just might be movie consistencies, actually. But, no, there are actual real ones, too. Okay, here's one. Yeah. Okay. Didn't someone allude to someone killing his father? And in this movie, he's dead by bee stings? Like who the fuck killed this guy? Angela Baker? Like, did somebody drop a beehive while he was taking a shit or something? Like, I don't understand how he dies of bee stings, yet he was killed in all the other movies.
What is this, a fucking Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage? Jesus. Oh my God. What is wrong with you people? Dude, they said he got stung in his eyes. Like,
yeah, come on.
Now, automatically, guys, didn't you think, okay, they're gonna fucking flashback to the crazy mother, like, throwing a beehive or something at this dude?
Yeah.
Nothing, dude. Nothing.
Threw a beehive at his face.
Dude, why? Why even do that? Why even give that description? It's so random. It's like, what the fuck was that about?
And then another forced fucking scene when he's in the coffin and the fan has been there the entire time, yet for the movie it's gonna blow the thing off for that, off his face for that 1 second so we could look at it, and everyone's like, oh, and I don't even get the whole thing where she's tickling him and then he reacts and she yells at him. Like, I don't even get that, man. Oh, she's crazy. Like, come on, dude.
Awkward, dude. It was fucking awkward. And I know some people look at it like, well, it's art, fucking it's not always a good time, blah blah blah, whatever. But, I don't like that shit, dude. I know what if they have a message to get to, yeah, but I don't even think that conveyed her as crazy. She was bipolar.
Yeah, it was just weird.
She was like, hey, oh, you got a boner? Slap. It's like, what the fuck was that, you crazy
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Okay, let's get into the movie a little bit.
I just hate this shit. Hate it.
You just want to hurry up and jump on this.
Right?
Okay, so Norman's, it's a prequel. He's basically saying, I killed my mother, and I killed other people too, and I'm going to kill again. Like, right there, you trace the call, but okay. Norman's first kill is the first girl who ever wanted to have sex with him.
She gets no backstory either, bro. Like, where'd she come from? Like,
I know, it's like she knows him, but then she doesn't know him, but then she kind of knows him, but she doesn't know him, and I'm like,
know him, though.
I don't understand. And she's like, what kind of girl do you think I am?
Right.
Well, the kind of girl who was going to have sex with this guy that she kind of doesn't really know.
Yeah. And, now, Dan, would you bang her, though? She's pretty hot, dude.
Oh, she was wicked. Yeah, no, I definitely bang her, for sure. But I did not enjoy this film. I mean...
This was the one you didn't like.
And that's the thing about directing. I thought it was okay. Everything was shot well, and I thought...
it wasn't.
Okay. Yo.
Even from an innocent eye, the whole movie's kind of good, but once you like...
No, it's not.
No, I know people who like this.
It's not horrible, dude.
That just means they're wrong.
I don't hate it though, Jamie. Like I
don't
really
understand how.
until I was gonna do this show, I didn't particularly put much thought into it, honestly.
Can I?
But I mean, you love Norman Bates. I mean, he's
Right.
like you love this guy.
Right.
How can you stand to see him treated this way?
I'm a little shocked myself, Jamie and Alex, to be honest with you.
I guess maybe my love is the thing that puts me through this kind of thing, you know? Like, you just try to accept it for what it is, and it's like, well, you know, I guess he's calling in a show, just talking about his past. I think the only thing I had a problem with were the inconsistencies and stuff, but we'll get into that. So, but, you know, it was cool to see, like, the...
Well, that's another thing, too. How the fuck long did it take that doctor to put together who the hell he was talking to when he just got finished saying, he went through that whole thing like, 30 years ago I had a case of matricide, and he, like, explained the whole thing, and then 5 minutes later, the dude's on the phone, and he's like, Like, how do you not know? Okay, if you were around him, you wouldn't recognize that voice, if at the very least. I know it'd been 30 years, but come on. Something like that happens, you're going to remember that shit.
What a coincidence,
and it takes him through the entire fucking movie to figure it out.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
But there's a lot of things that make no sense. Like, even with the girl who's going to have sex with him, why have sex in the mansion? You got 12 fucking rooms in the motel, and Mother is in there.
And a parlor.
Yeah, and he says my mother's there. Why would you go into that? Even if my mom was alive, which she assumed, that's definitely a reason not to go in. It just makes no sense why she even went in there, you know? That is just, everything is forced. It's really, like, dumb with that kind of stuff.
We knew that the first murder was going to be a major set piece. We didn't want it to be like the shower scene. I wanted it to be colorful and shocking, literally colorful. I wanted the scarlet to be quite present. And a long build-up, and a sense of visual exaggeration. You know, the colors, it's sexuality, it's a thwarted orgasm, is what that murder was intended to be. The spurting blood, because he's not capable of making love and emitting the proper fluids at the conclusion of that act.
Wow.
So this was intended to be an act of sexuality, repressed sexuality taken out, instead in an act of destruction rather than creation. So I hope that doesn't sound too pretentious.
No.
And I didn't talk about that with many of the people involved in it, but that was the intent.
Even down to the look, you guys, what do you guys think about that? Because that was the one thing that I noticed, man, was they obviously went for, like, the new look for the fucking house, and then the motel.
Yeah, it was all painted nice. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it drove me bonkers.
You don't like it?
I hated it, dude.
Yeah, I
it.
never, ever, ever, ever pictured that house like that. And it's like, it just, like, I get that it was supposed to be years before and it had fallen into disrepair by the time we got to it. Bullshit, though. You know,
years?
that it, bullshit that it went that far down after that long. And when the hell is it yellow?
Exactly.
No, Jamie, he killed his mom at 12. He was about 16, 17, so 5 years.
Yeah.
It became dilapidated.
Exactly.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
And suddenly, it's like a Thomas Kincaid house. It's all yellow and pickety fancy. And,
Yeah, I guess it doesn't work. You're right.
It doesn't work.
Well, what about this, though? What do you think about, like, when the girl walks in the bedroom and, like, you see Mother in bed? And what do you think about this? Obviously, it was a real person. She was moving. Did you notice that she was slightly moving?
No.
Yeah, she was moving. If you watch the girl walk up to that bed where Mother's laying...
I'll take your word for it, because I don't want to watch it.
I know, right?
She's actually... You can see her moving. It's a real person until they actually show her as a corpse.
I'm not shocked by that. I mean, I could see them purposefully doing that, but that's just...
Well, and that's another thing that irritates me, though, too, is them trying to... Like, the part where he goes in talking to her, and they're not showing her... Like, they're going to surprise us with the fact that she's a corpse. We know!
Well, no! See, I didn't know at that point, because you didn't know at what point in the narrative they were at.
Oh,
See
you
what I'm
knew.
saying?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
you can tell by, I mean, okay, who's going to walk into a room and start talking to someone and she's like, get that whore out of my house? Yet, she's not going to turn and face him. She's not going to even, like, gesture. She's nothing. I mean, she doesn't do anything. She just lays there and then she's like, come around here. Like, and he goes around her side of the bed. That was totally unnatural.
Yeah. I think they try to throw us off by what I said, that having a real actress in the bed and moving.
Yeah.
And then I think that's where the shock was supposed to come in, because, yeah, that's what I caught on to, so I think we were all supposed to. And that, of course, she's dead. I guess that was supposed to throw us off, you know? It was just very forced, like we talked about,
right.
how Norman came down the stairs so quick in part 1. When you see Mother walking in the bedroom and she beeps the horn, they're really trying to lead you other places, just like in part 2 when Mary had the gun going around the house. That was supposed to make us think there's no way it's her mom, you know, so there's they really lead you in these movies, but this had to be the worst of all of them.
It's not like, oh my god, this is a horrible fucking movie, but
It pretty much is.
Well, well, that's the whole thing, though. To us, it is, because we've all pretty much felt, pretty much the same about all the sequels and shit. So this one is definitely the worst out of all of them. And like I said, it's not like, oh my god, this is an abomination. You know, I don't know. There was just certain things, like you said. I hate to fucking dog on your style again, shit, but it's like, that shit is just so fucking forced. And, me and Alex were talking about this briefly, and I promise I'm not gonna fucking spoil a goddamn thing for anybody. But the Bates Motel, the way they do things, and, it's a whole different arena, TV, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But it's almost like, okay, this is how you do it well, and then this is a forced version where we're going to make scenes that, try to exemplify big moments in their lives, but if you try and do it in one scene, it's not going to work. The whole dual thing with Mother, like we just said, with her fucking bugging out on him after and stuff like that. It's like, to me, like you just said, I can't, I'm stuck on that fucking word. I'm not even gonna say it, but it just seems way too, exactly. So it's just one of those things where it's a movie and it's, for what it is, I guess it's okay. I don't like it though, knowing what I know now in 2013 and seeing how a prequel can be even done very well, with the Bates Motel. Dude, they nailed it with that shit. And they didn't fuck up the house at all either, there's just little things like that, but they tried with this. It's a prequel, definitely, and I guess they were trying to maybe bank on the fact that it was a prequel, and that's all, and they really didn't think too much into it. I think that's what's detrimental to this film overall. You know what I mean? And to me, it never paid off.
I don't like the juxtaposition of Norman's new life versus his old life, because I understand why they're going to put him in this really modern house with all the contemporary appointments and, in the kitchen, and it's going to be bright and it's going to be cheerful and it's going to have live birds versus the dead birds. And they're going to,
Right.
I get it, but it doesn't seem right to me. It just doesn't, it doesn't fit.
Well, actually I made a mistake earlier too. What I said before about, the beehive thing, I was just thinking as you were talking, in part 3, when Tracy Venable was explaining to Norman, like, all this stuff, she was jealous, Norman, because she was having an affair with your father, and her sister got pregnant with a baby that she should have had with him. Mm-hmm. And in a jealous rage, she killed Norman's father.
Okay.
Yet, it was bee stings.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
She is Angela Baker.
Okay.
So I was just thinking about that as you were saying that, but yeah. So what do you guys think about the incest angle?
Hated it.
Rubbing the orange water on her body and
so weird, dude.
It was such a good, real way to show how this guy got so messed up and didn't understand reality. I can't even imagine. Here's this character who's at this very impressionable age when you're first starting to learn about women, and your mother won't let you look at any other women, won't let you talk to any other women. Everything's got to be with her. And all of his first sexual experiences were basically with his own mother, But if he looked at them as sexual experiences, he was punished for it.
She raised Norman very awkwardly. You don't punish a boy by putting him in a dress. You don't taunt him and have him pat rose water on you and then roll on the floor with you. And when he gets an erection, get furious with him and lock him in a closet. Literally in a closet, in a dress.
Actually, out of the whole film, the closet thing and everything, the rolling on the floor to me was the most upsetting, because I have 2 boys of my own, you know, and I could not imagine ever treating my kids that way. So that was a really hard scene for me to shoot, being a mom. It was very difficult, and I had to keep saying to Henry, I'm really sorry, I'm nothing like this. Now let's get on and do this. You know, it was a tough, that was the hardest scene, I think, for me to shoot.
His relationship with his mother and just the kind of skewed view of morality and what was good and what was bad, and ethically, like how he had been treated, it definitely shaped him.
Would that drive someone to physical violence without having a proclivity that maybe they were born with in their brain, their synapses, how they work? I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I had a script to work with that I thought worked really well.
There's a lot of sexual stuff, dude. You ever, like when she finds the supposed porno mag, which is really just like girls drawn on a page and wearing lingerie and shit, and she's flipping out about that.
Yeah, man, that's what this movie is, though. It's like all about sexual repression, and that translates into knifing people.
Yeah, it's all sexual It's weird. It's almost the Michael Myers syndrome. They're trying to create a backstory. There's no way Norman could just be crazy.
Right.
It has to be a reason, and they're going to choose sex because he looks at girls, mother becomes jealous, he turns into mother, and she kills them.
And then they tried to throw in the whole angle where, I'm going to kill again. Me, just like the first time. And it's like,
that's weird.
It's just, dude, Norman has never been like that, and that's the whole point. Like,
and Norman didn't kill any of these women. That's what I mean. Norman as Norman, and throughout this entire thing, he's like, "Oh, I've killed other people too, and I've killed, and that's bullshit. That's not who he was."
He's kind of bragging about it. He's not even the remorseful guy that.
Crazy.
The only thing you could argue is that his doctors convinced him that, Norman, you're the one who killed those people, not Mother.
He could have been aware of it. Yeah, no, he could definitely at this point be aware of it, but at the same time, he, shouldn't be bragging about it. That's not him. And then second of all, be like, oh, I'm gonna kill, just like the first time. Dude, come on, man. That's the whole Norman Bates fucking Mother dynamic, yo.
Yeah. Fuck? And the whole reason he's going to kill again, because he knocked up his wife, and he doesn't want his genetics in another human being because they will run around killing people? I don't know, man. That sounds like, all right, guys, what do we do here? All right, Norman's married.
Scramble.
He's going to kill her because she's pregnant, and he doesn't want the baby to kill. Dude, that is great. Let me take it to the executives right now. That's just what that seems like. Like, it's not thought out, man.
And then it'll be like, oh my god, will we kill her or won't he? And that'll be the big,
That's the big reveal.
It's like, fuck you, dude. This is so fucking forced and just phoned in. Jamie said it. Yo. Or did you say it? I don't know.
No, I said it.
We all made that pun.
And you're right.
It's very lazy writing, right?
It is extremely lazy. In the very end, when he's like, everything's all nicely wrapped up neatly. He's on the verge of killing her, and she's like, no, our baby, basically, we can be happy. And then he's like, oh, happy. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense. I didn't give a damn. By the time we got there, I was just so ready for it to be over that I didn't even care. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Jamie, there are some great scenes, though. What about, when he's a little boy and he's laying on that thing that they laid out, and the rain comes, and the mom holds him, and she kind of spins him around?
I hate that scene. Really?
I actually do
Why?
like that scene. I like that scene.
What the fuck is that scene there for?
It shows because, dude.
Because there were some tender moments. There were some good
Exactly. It really ties in, dude. It ties into the part 2 when he's like, my mother did a lot of nice things for me. Like, she made toasted cheese sandwiches.
No, I'll tell you why you're wrong, Alex. Because if they were trying to show connectivity, they would have shown Henry Thomas do it. And I hate to keep referring back to the Bates Motel here, but they show connectivity between mother and son. Therefore, when mother goes crazy and Norman reacts the way he does, there's significance behind it, okay? When they show scenes like that, what are they showing? Oh, mommy loves you? And that's supposed to translate how? It's bullshit, dude. If you want to show something, show me something.
I mean, yeah, the whole time he was a teenager, she treated him like absolute shit.
And it made no sense, dude. Her outbursts made okay, technically they made sense, but you know what, dude? If you want to break something down, you have to build it up first. You have to show that this is a family, you know, and as dysfunctional as families can be, they show nothing.
Why was he so upset about another man coming into that life? He fucking hated her that entire period of his life. So what's the big deal if some asshole moves in?
Thank you.
It would be better if he had a stronger relationship with mother at that point. Then some asshole moves in, he's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yep.
You know, and then things go downhill. Then she starts saying, get the fuck out of here. You know, then there's a problem.
Yep.
You're right. I mean, if the last glimpse of connectivity or closeness they had was when he was like freaking 8 years old or whatever, like whatever that was supposed to be.
Right.
Wait a minute though.
Yes.
Holy shit, this doesn't make any sense. Wow, another inconsistency. How old do you think Henry Thomas was at the point where she met this dude? And when he killed them, he was not 12 years old.
No, he was like,
could he be 12 at that point?
No, I mean, you could. Saying he's 13 would be.
Dude, I looked like I was 5 when I was 12, man. I didn't look like Henry Thomas, man. I looked young as shit. He looked older than 12. So, I mean, we can get to the parts where like he's rolling around on the floor and he gets a hard on, and how could you blame him for that? I mean, his mom's kind of hot. You know, the first person that a kid looks to with that kind of stuff is his mom. You know that, right?
Oh, absolutely, dude. Fucking, you know, that's fact, too. But that's what's fucked up about this movie, too, man. They had something to say about that. They could have taken it so many different places, man, where I'm no writer, but shit, dude, I can think of some better scenarios where it could lead to him fucking going psycho and killing his mom and shit like that. And the whole dynamic just, I hate to sit here and rag on this movie for fucking an hour or whatever the fuck we're doing this for, but it's like, I just didn't feel it, dude, you know, and in the context of the whole Psycho fucking series, it just didn't measure up, you know?
So you would suggest people stop at 3?
Oh, absolutely, dude. 2 and 3 are great fucking movies, you know? And, the remake has nothing to offer, so fuck that shit. But, you know, I am somewhat biased, you guys, you know? I've seen what they can do as far as doing it with TV, you know? And I know we're gonna release this about the same time, so I don't know if it's out yet, so I'm not gonna say anything about it. But, you know, I said something about establishing relationships. It's so key, and TV has an upper hand on that just because of the longevity.
Yeah, they have length to do it.
Of course, but at the same time, bro, it's fucking movies, dude. That movies have been around longer than fucking TV shows, and they've been doing it very well. So they could have easily established a relationship and then said, "Oh shit, this is where it went wrong."
Yeah, you know, you're right. You don't even know where it went wrong when you think about it. I mean, you know what? One could argue it went wrong when the highway was being shut down and they're building a new highway. Isn't that the first time? Or no, he already kind of She saw the porno. No, he already had the hard on. Dude, I'm so mixed up. I don't know. But the point is, things are great until he has a hard on. I mean, come on.
She obviously has, weird sexual hang-ups. And you can see after that when he, or is it after that or is it... Oh, it's when he's in the bed with her and he like gets out of bed and runs to his room and gets under the covers and she
Yeah, but
comes
at that
in there.
point she doesn't know why he's doing that though.
Then that's when she finds which it wasn't even porn, it was a freaking catalog, you know, so she
Of drawn. Those aren't even real people. They were cartoons of girls in clothes.
She finds the catalog that he's been rubbing one out to, and then she gets pissed off about it. But it's jealousy. You know, I mean, it's straight up jealousy right there. Why do you need to look at them? I'm right here. That's exactly what's going on. You know, this is.
Yeah, but here's the thing: she has no true sexual interest. If that was the case, when he got a hard on, she'd be like, "Hey, you up for something here?" Like, you know, she would have been into it.
She thinks that sex is dirty and evil. You know.
But no, I don't buy that, Jamie. She's fucking rolling around in bed with this asshole.
But I mean, that's what she's telling him. You know.
Yeah, but it's not consistent.
No, it's
I think she's bipolar. If you're gonna go by their logic, she's probably bipolar, where she has those impulses, but then she's like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" You know, and she takes it out on him.
Yeah, but dude, it's just, I don't care. It's not consistent. You cannot be so anti-sex and have all these hang-ups, yet the Norman's peeping through a hole and you're rolling around in bed and you're freaking banging this guy and it's the greatest thing and he's talking sex in front of your son and it's all cool. Like, you know, he made some joke in the kitchen like, the only time you do something with a girl is after sex or something like that, you know. Like whatever that horrible joke was from that lazy-eyed bastard. I don't even know what it was, but...
You two say hello to each other.
Hi there, Normie. You take my father's robe off.
No underwear. You see, Norman, you only want to be naked around a lady when you're having sex with her. Any other time, it just ain't respectful. It's good toast.
It wasn't consistent. But
I don't think that she's, you know, mapping out what she's going to tell him. Like, oh, I'm going to tell him girls are like this, you know. She's crazy. But she's going to tell him girls are evil, girls are bad, sex is bad.
That's what my mother did.
Because she doesn't want him going out and having it with anyone else.
Anyone else, but you're implying that she wants it with her, though.
I mean, no, I don't know. I don't know that it would ever get to a physical point with their relationship, but there's definitely something. There's an unnatural,
like a boy's best friend is his mother type deal.
Right.
But so yeah, no other girl in any other form is necessary. Yeah.
And you were talking about that douchebag too, Alex, the boyfriend there.
Yeah.
Did
Oh
have
god, what a
couple-
douche.
And say, let's not forget this character was based on Ed Gein, and that's exactly what his mother would tell him. You know, women, stay away from women; they're evil. Actually, she did tell him, I think at one point, that it was okay to go out with fat women because fat women will treat you right.
Well, they'll feed you, right?
But it was
Because you're not going to want to eat out.
God.
No, but how much of a douchebag was the boyfriend, though? When she's like, oh my god, you know, she's like, my throat is dry, I can hardly swallow. And then, oh, we can't have that now, can we?
Yeah, what is this guy? Was this guy Duke or something?
You're like, what is this guy on the skeleton crew? Like, come on, man. Like, that's,
Dude, is he on the show? Wait, look to your left. No, he's not around. I don't see
he's
this
not in the
douchebag.
dungeon, dude. I mean, Jamie's strapped here. She ain't going nowhere. We told her from day one, bitch, you ain't going nowhere.
I
And
ain't going nowhere.
She doesn't seem to have a problem, but no, dude.
Stockholm syndrome. I told you. Yeah.
And that was funny, but at the same time, dude, it felt so out of place in the context of this fucking movie. Like, what the fuck's going on?
There's a little bit of subtext in the movie, because when you think about it, this guy moved into Norma's house, you know, the mansion and everything, and in this movie, Norman moved into his wife's house. Like, if you think about it, because remember he said it's from a divorce. Like, there's a lot of subtext about women having the power, you know, and kind of like that. And Norman, you know, the women issues.
Well, I mean, look at it. She's at work. Where is he? He's at home making his own birthday dinner, making his own birthday cake.
Looking at birds.
You know, and, yeah, with birds. I mean,
You fucking weirdo.
But she's the one who's in the office. You know?
Right? Yeah, she's the man of the house. What's Norman do all day? Who the hell knows? I mean, it sort of seemed like it was nighttime. It was actually like she was on second shift. I mean, he could have been at work. I don't know what he does, but
yeah.
I mean, what kind of qualifications do you have for murdering 15 people? I don't know. But, I don't know. So I guess the only other like kind of segment in this is like they show the kill where Norman kills the older chick who he was kind of hooking up with. That was kind of weird. Like she was like 30-something years old, and he was like 12.
I was gonna ask how old you thought she was.
30-something, like 34 maybe, and he was like supposedly 12. So we're talking 22 years difference, and when you're 12, that's a big freaking deal. But how brutal was that though? He like chokes this bitch out, then kind of throws her in the trunk, and then goes to drown her, and she's like banging in the trunk, dude.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. That'd be ruthless death.
Wait, he wasn't 12 then, was he?
He had to.
Couldn't have been.
Oh wait, yeah. Was mom dead? But he looked exactly like he looked when he killed his parents.
Exactly.
Or whatever.
Right.
So I'm saying, like, I don't know. You're
Yeah.
right. She might have been dead. You're right at that point. I don't know. But it looks like the same.
Wasn't that death ruthless, though, guys? Like, can you imagine being in a trunk and the fucking car's going underwater?
Oh
like,
my
holy
God.
fucking shit, dude.
That's crazy shit.
Yeah, and I don't know. It was just, that whole kill, though, was weird, man. When she heard... Yeah, she hears Mother from up in the house talking. Like Norman's mother. Like, Norman, ma.
Maybe no, I can't imagine that mom was alive at that point.
No, but she was clearly dead. But I'm just saying because
Okay, but she still heard it. Yeah,
it's in that crazy voice, so that was obviously in Norman's head. But then Norman's in the back seat, dressed as Mother or whatever. But she's clearly looking at the house when it happens. Did you guys catch that? It's like.
Why did you bring her here? Don't you lie to your mother. I know about your cheap erotic urges.
I wouldn't lie to you.
You would! All men lie to their mothers about their cheap desires. There's nothing different about you.
Crying whore!
Like she hears Mother, like kind of like the first one or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're trying. Yeah, like Jamie said, they're really trying to recreate that first movie, man.
So I was like, what the fuck, dude? And I know, guys, I'm not the most well-spoken, smartest person, but goddamn, dude, like I picked up on that.
Oh, Jamie, also, like you said, with the inordinately bullshit, like what about Me and My Trusty Umbrella? He did that again?
Yes. I caught that too.
Yeah, like get out of here. And so I guess after that kill, I think the next thing. By the way, realistically, another like forced thing. Like Norman's what 50 something at this point, 50, and you got to imagine if he was 50. Okay, let's say they said he was 22 supposedly, not 28 like we said, because he was really 28 in real life, Anthony Perkins. But Norman was 22 when Part 1 took place. So now he's 44 when Part 2 and 3 sort of take place. So now, I guess we're going to say he's around 50. I mean, how quickly do you get out of a institution after killing people again?
You don't, and that's what I can't... This doesn't make any damn sense. There's absolutely no explanation or transition between him, going on a murdering spree in the last episode, in the last sequel, to now being married and living in suburbia.
Right.
What the hell?
Just waltzing around like no big deal. But here's the thing about it. His wife was like 50. How is she pregnant? Doesn't menopause kind of kick in at that point?
Typically before then, yes.
Okay, so that, again, this makes
But it's
no
not.
sense.
It's not uncommon.
Right, it is plausible technically, but yeah.
But in a movie of forced bullshit, I'm gonna call bullshit.
Exactly.
And I will call it. Okay.
I mean, come on.
There's just too much. Too much license they're taking here.
Yeah, they're not gonna break precedent and say, well, women can't be pregnant at that age. They're just gonna force that too.
And guys, can I tell my Anthony Perkins story again? I told it on a previous story, but it's a Psycho show, so.
No thanks. No
okay,
thanks.
all right, thank you. Good night.
So, So Norman kills... No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Oh, I know what it was. Your grandfather was driving, and Anthony Perkins was hitchhiking on a road.
Isn't that crazy, dude?
That's insane. Well, don't you have, like, proof or something? Didn't he give him something or whatever?
Well, check this out, man. So him and his buddies were on, like some sort of like Navy duty, but they weren't like there every day. It was almost like the reserves type of deal. So they would go and drive and carpool back and forth to the Navy base, to the naval base. So they're driving one day and this guy's hitchhiking, and it's fucking Anthony Perkins. I guess he was the nicest guy, and oh, thanks for the ride. I got no money on me now. He had like $10, and my grandfather was like, "Don't even worry about it, dude. We got you." So we took him, drove him to wherever we wanted to get to, and he was like, "Really, I wanna pay you and help you out." So we got my grandfather's address. Well, he thought nothing of it. Well, a month later, he sent him a fucking fat check too. So it was definitely after Psycho 2 I found out that he made it. I wasn't sure at the time when I first heard the story. I talked to my grandmother about it because my grandfather's passed since. So I talked to my, grandmother about this whole story, and she's telling me about it because, she knows my love of horror movies and stuff like that. Yeah, man. So he sent him a check, dude, and I can't find it. I don't know where it is. She doesn't.
They didn't cash it in, right?
Can you imagine if I found that shit, dude? And I would never sell that. I would frame that shit, bro. But dude, I just think that's awesome.
Alex
man,
would pee his pants.
Yeah, I would. Trust me, Dan. I would find a price for you. I'll double what that check is.
Yeah, right. Yeah, nice. Yep. So
we talked about his character's transition. He was normal, calm in part 1, kills Marion, now he's fidgety. Now part 2, he's kind of normal, then he starts being weird on the phone. Part 3, he just got done killing Spool, she's missing, people are looking for her. Now Maureen is around, he's getting all weirded out by that. Then he discovers her when she slashed her wrist, so now he's like, oh my gosh, she can recognize me. Now he's flipped out, nervous by the time he's visiting Maureen in the hospital bed. By the end of the movie, he's just shot. Now, in this one, he's cool, calm, collective, in control again. And a lot of people will argue, like, this prequel, they dismiss the sequels.
Right.
That's just not okay. That's nice that you dismiss it, but it ain't like Halloween H2O where we don't have Jamie Lloyd anymore and things like that, and we don't have Loomis, and we don't have whoever the hell was willing to do those movies at that point, and you start fresh from Jamie Lee Curtis and continue on. Norman was in all of them. You can't ignore them. There's no such thing as that. You just can't say, well, they don't exist, this is just a sequel from part 1.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. You just shot the 2 sequels 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The same guy is in all of them. It just makes no sense. You can't just say that.
It's like they chose certain aspects to follow, and then others they just totally disregarded and or fucked them up,
Yeah.
Mm.
So, let's wrap it up.
Okay.
I'm done with this. So, Norman brings the wife to the house, his old house. He says, meet me at my mother's house. She goes. He kind of goes to kill her, pulls the knife out, and she goes, how can you do this? Blah, 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 blah,
blah, blah, blah.
Gives an argument. I don't know. Jamie said it before. What was it, Jamie? Here's the thing. This is the climax of the film.
Right.
What is the big turnaround? What's the big thing that he goes, he's going to kill her, this is huge, and then what turns it all around? Like, what's the argument the wife gives? Anybody even remember?
No. I mean, no, not at all, dude.
Like, shouldn't that be something we remember?
The argument she gives for him not killing her?
Yeah.
It's the baby, right? Or the baby won't be like you, or the baby's not going to kill anyone.
So he went to that extreme to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Like, couldn't he just have asked her? Do you think
Maybe he's not going to grow up to
Couldn't he
be
have
a
just have
monster.
asked her? No, that's a legitimate question. Yes. Instead of wiping out a bunch of people, just ask.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we could have got to this ending a lot easier just calling her and say, hey, hon, you know, I'm like Norman Bates, kind of famous. I know I killed a lot of people, and, you know, my mom's nuts, I'm nuts. I've been in an institution for I don't know how many years now. And somehow you decided to marry me, which is bizarre to begin with, but we have sex, and I knocked you up, and now we're going to have a kid. Do you think that the kid will kill people?
Mm-hmm.
You could have just done that.
Mm-hmm.
He could have.
Instead of, like, luring her to this house and pulling a knife on her.
Well, I was going to say, you know, you'd think he'd want to preserve the woman that has agreed to marry him and have sex with him. But, you know, historically, one thing that I have learned for sure from this series is that Norman never had any problem getting any. There were somehow there were women all over him.
Right. And here's the bigger question. Would you even go back to this dude if he pulled a knife on you and went through this whole fiasco? She seems to forgive him pretty quickly.
I don't feel like she was ever mad at him. You know, I don't think she was ever angry. And then when it came to the end there, she was just like, okay. Yeah.
Gee, thanks for not killing me, honey. So what do you want to do? You want to go to,
It's almost like some people sat in a room and it was like a paint-by-numbers version of a Psycho fucking movie, dude. And it's like, you look back on it, it's clearly one of the weakest, you know, if not the weakest.
It's the weakest, Dan.
If you take, it's debatable.
Well, no, I don't count the remake because that's not part of this.
No debate involved. That is a statement of fact.
That's a fucking fact.
The remake is a reboot. You can't count that. So this is the weakest.
Yeah, this is the weakest. And anyone out there, I challenge anyone to prove to me it's not.
Exactly, dude. No.
Actually, I would love it if you could, because that would make you pretty badass.
Well, the dude from the PsychoMovies.com, Jason Allentoff, he said this is a good movie. We should have him on one day.
You know what? You can think it's a good movie if you want. But what I'm saying is, you know, someone prove to me that this isn't the weakest, because I don't think there's any debate whatsoever. This is absolutely the weakest film in the series. And if anyone thinks otherwise, show me. You know, I just don't see how any of them could be weaker than this one.
And they even said on the Psycho Legacy that Anthony Perkins, there was like trouble on the set on this one with him just not feeling like he was a part of it and he had no say. And it's like, you can't blame him, dude. It's taken a franchise, it's taken a part of your life and just kind of, I wouldn't say shitting on it. It's not shitting on it, but at the same time, it's doing it no fucking justice.
It's like a performing monkey.
It's doing it no good, yeah.
Dance, monkey, dance. Do a Psycho dance.
Okay, think back to the one that he directed and think about what we got from that.
Right.
When he had everything to say. You know.
Right. Oh, yeah. We have no complaints. Yeah.
This is his life. He loves this. And it shows.
Yeah.
And this one, he was not doing what he wanted to do. He was doing what someone else wanted him to do, and you could tell. Like, you could see the frustration just in him. It just emanated from him. And I don't know, like, I was wrestling with myself throughout the entire film thinking, well, is that supposed to be his character, you know? Or is this really him just hating what he's doing right now, like Bob Saget when he had to host America's Funniest Home Videos?
That's a great reference.
And then, guys, at the end, man, it's like, what? He's gonna fucking burn the house? That's the fucking climactic ending? Where, what? That's supposed to allude to the fact that he's gonna fucking wash away or burn away his sins?
Yeah. And he sees all the ghosts.
Oh, dude, don't even... Oh, God, dude. Come on, man. That was the most...
You know, we actually have clips of those ghosts.
Play them.
Yeah. Well, one of the ghosts that he saw, because they were talking to him, one of them said this.
Fuck you, asshole.
And then the girl he was going to have sex with, she saw him and she was like...
Damn, you look good.
Ah, okay.
And one of the guys he actually killed... He saw on the way down the famous Psycho stairs. And when he bumped into one of the guys that he killed, the guy said,
God damn you.
so anyway, the movie wraps up with a baby crying after he burns down the motel. You know, the screen goes black, and there's a baby crying. So now, instantly, that obviously opens the door for Psycho 5. And as stupid as this sounds, I wrote a script for Psycho 5. You know what, Dan? I really don't like you anymore.
Dude,
Anyway.
wait, what do you mean? What do you mean?
It's his son is named Andrew Bates, and
Why haven't you sent this to me?
yeah, I play him. And no, this is a full. Of course I do. I have to play it. I'm the son of Norman Bates. So I actually posted this on HorrorBid a week ago, in between part 1 and 2 retrospective.
I missed it, dude. Wow.
Yeah. So hopefully.
Tell me what happens in the story. What happens with you?
Well, basically, my character. Here's how it works. I try to make this work and pay respect to the original. Now, the baby's crying, so obviously it's his kid. Now, the way I worked it out is the kid has to have some kind of underlying issues, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it has to be family related. So I'm keeping it to the thing.
Mm-hmm.
He hears all the kids talk about, wow, your dad's Norman Bates. This guy's a freaking psycho. He killed you. He killed blah, 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 blah. I killed all these people. Keeps telling all these stories, shows them stuff, whatever. You know, look, this is your dad, blah, blah. Now, what happens in the movie is that the kid gets all this shit in his head. He hears his mom and dad fighting in the other room. And it's really getting loud, and Norman takes something and throws it and this and that, and then the mom screams because she's nervous, so the kid starts thinking that he's going to kill his mother. So Andrew, I think I made him 12 to tie into the first one.
Right.
He grabs a butcher knife, which is iconic to Norman, and he runs into the room, and he sees Norman yelling and screaming at the mom, and he rams the knife into his stomach to save his mother. And then the mom says, no, what are you doing? He wasn't touching me or whatever. And he kills his dad. That way, from the visual, the way I shot it, or the way I planned it out, all you see is Norman from the feet up, and he's dressed like he is in part 3, so it kind of, ties together again, with the tan and the Nikes and all that crap. And, and you see a silhouette, because, obviously Anthony Perkins is dead. So, so from there, he gets sent to an institution. Then they kind of chalk it up to protecting, his mom. So now he has all these problems, dude. And from there it begins. Now the son of Norman Bates has father, mother issues, all this stuff. He's a murderer. He's locked in institution, and it starts all over again.
Damn, dude, you're a creative motherfucker, dude. Yo, I'd watch that over fucking this movie.
Well, hopefully.
Well, I'm not joking you, dude. Fuck, man, that's great. And which, come on, man. You look at movies like this that we're talking about, it's like, you wonder how much fucking bureaucracy this movie had to go through to get to the point where it was at, It's like, how could you fuck something like that up? But, it is what it is. Oh, and another, can I say a what the fuck moment in this movie?
Oh, yeah, we didn't do that.
John Landis is in this film.
Oh, yeah, right? He's the...
Well, what's the connection? Was there a Mick Garris, John Landis connection that I'm forgetting about, or was that just random? I couldn't...
Jamie, that's a good question. I'm sure. I would say I'm positive, but I'm clearly not. But I would bet a lot of money on that. But not only that, it's just I'm sure he might have been a fan, but it's crazy that he would actually do a movie like this,
I think he was actually, John Landis was dating CCH Pounder. And that's how he got the part.
There you go.
CCH Pounder. She was actually in another movie of a person I'm obsessed with. Arnold Schwarzenegger, End of Days.
She's in a lot of movies.
What does she play in End of Days?
A cop. She accused Arnold of being an alcoholic.
Wow, dude, that's one of my favorite soundtracks, dude. Eminem's got a track on that. You know what it is, dude? One of the greatest lines. As long as I'm on my pills and I got plenty of pot, I'll be in a canoe paddling, making fun of your yacht. but I do want an award for one mic and a source for a wardrobe I can afford.
He's still with the mic and the source, man?
Yeah, he's all about it.
Jesus Christ, you're not Benzino doesn't like you.
Exactly. Wow, I'm so glad you got that reference. Okay, Psycho 4.
I'm good, man. I'm good. See, I'm very well-rounded as a human being.
Yeah, right. I can't even get you to watch any TV.
I'm watching Bates Motel, motherfucker.
It's so good too. I can't wait for people to see this shit, dude. Oh, it's so good.
Let me reference Jamie for a second. She said how it emanated his feelings. Jamie, there's a lot going on in Anthony Perkins' life at this time. I didn't want to say this because I didn't want to be a downer. We were having such a good time with Psycho 3. The craziest part is Anthony Perkins found out he had AIDS during the filming of Psycho 3.
Oh, fuck.
And in Psycho 4, obviously, it was, full blown. I mean, it's been in his life for 4 years.
Can you imagine, dude?
Yeah, so, I mean, the guy was not, like, a barrel of laughs, I don't think, at that point.
Right.
So, it's gotta be tough, man.
Yeah, and that's another thing, though. I mean, if you were going to go out, I mean, if you're going to, do you want this to be your legacy?
Oh, stop. Don't do that, man. That's messed up. Don't say that. That's kind of fucked up, Jamie.
I know, it's like, I'm serious. It's like Jackie Gleason and Smokey and the Bandit 3. I mean...
He fought them tooth and nail. He fought the director tooth and nail, I heard. He wasn't buying it.
No, I know, and it's obvious, and that's bad, you know?
It's sad, man. I think
it's sad.
It's very sad.
I think he did it for the fans, man. He probably made one more, I don't know. And plus, here's the thing. He didn't think Psycho 3... you gotta remember, people didn't respond well to Psycho 3. And he was convinced that the reason they didn't respond well to 3 is because it was too much like Part 1. It really isn't, but it mirrors Part 1, like we already said. And the reason people didn't respond well is because, like I already said, that sleazy undertone, people felt weird about it.
Right.
You know? And they didn't know what was bothering them. And they just didn't like it. Because it's just something that you can't F with it, motherfucker.
You can't fuck with that shit.
Like I can, or Anthony Perkins can, or I guess all three of us can.
I'm sure looking back, he would say, if I could direct 3 and then drop it like that, right there, he'd be down with it. But, you know, that's just looking back, you know. I feel like he had his heart and soul into it. But like you said, he was diagnosed. He was probably very sick at that point, you know. Not very sick, I shouldn't say. I don't know.
I think he died in, what was it, 92, right?
There you go, 2 years later.
September 12th, yeah.
Yeah, man. So it's like he tried. I don't think.
Well, I'm not saying it was a bad decision for him to do this. What I'm saying is that it's sad that he was obviously unhappy during this, and that is now his legacy. That is his, you know, his final film was one that he didn't really enjoy, and that's sad.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very sad, you know? It really is. And, you know, like I said, that's what I meant by looking back and stuff like that. You know, us talking, it would have been great if he went out on 3.
Yeah, that would have been a high point.
You know, and it's just such a bad movie, too, where it's just like, oh, man, that just kind of sucks. So, yeah, man, that's what that's what we gotta say about that movie.
All right, let's wrap it up, then we'll get to the end where we wrap everything up, man. So, rating time. This is going to be bad.
God.
I'll go with Dan first.
A 2.
Really? 2 out of 10?
Just didn't like it. And that.
I have never heard you go that low.
Yeah, that's low, dude. I thought you were going to say 4.
I mean, you complain if I, drop to a 6 on something you like. So, like.
Because you're wrong about that 6.
Oh. 2, that's wow.
I look for good things in the movie, dude, and it's like
it's awkward, but it feels good.
Yeah, exactly, dude. You know, if it feels good, keep it going. But if it don't feel good, give that shit a 2.
All right, Jamie, how do you rate this?
I'm gonna say 3.
So much more generous.
You know, I think it's right, though, but what do you think, Alex? Because I don't think it would be that out of line if you said a 6 or something, you know?
Look, I love this character, man.
No, I love
Exactly.
What this movie did to this character. They fucked up this character for me, and that makes me angry. That's why.
All right, yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, I just never had such a cynical look on the movie. I really just, here's my take on it. I always felt that it wasn't really that great, but to me, it was just the one I watched least.
Right.
That's about as far as I went with my dislike
Probably
for it.
poured a little more hate on it than necessary, but the others, I sucked them off so hard that I felt like I needed to make up for that. I guess. Yeah.
You got a bash, man. What are you, ass kisser?
It just struck me as so bad when I watched this. Just so bad.
All right. I'll give it a 5.
Dude, that's a good rating, considering your love for the fucking franchise and shit,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, come on, let's face it, this is gonna fucking bite me in the ass if I start getting at you for liking that once we do our Scream retrospective, about Scream 3. Oh god, it's gonna fucking kill me. So, yeah.
Jeez.
No, I admit, I understand. You guys really opened me up to a lot of things. I guess I did overlook stuff. And, I was talking Pat, the ghoul in Cabin 1.
The ghoul under your bed.
He's the one who's gonna drop a little psycho rap.
Oh shit, son.
Yep, so you're gonna hear that.
We're getting into a story that's quite insane. Starts out with Sam Loomis and Marion Crane. Our friend Marion saw money to gain. She stole $40,000 and sped off like a train. Later in the night, she encounters some rain. She stops off at Bates Motel, soon to be slain. She meets Norman Bates. He says there's vacancy. He befriends Marion and makes a dinner hastily. She angers Norman, talking about his mother. Norman says, we all go a little mad sometimes. Because Marion just knows she just triggered a string of crimes. We cut to Marion showering gracefully until Norman's mother comes in crazily and stabs Marion quite painfully. Norman sees what happened and hides her body. That Norman is acting very oddly. Norman is questioned by Arbogast. Arbogast catches on fast, convincing Norman saw Marion last. Goes to Bates' house, ends up slashed, and then the dead body ends up trashed. Lila and Sam decide to discover the truth about Norman and his mother. Lila finds mother, turns her chan around. She screams at what she just found. Turns out mother was just a cadaver. Norman busts in, ready to stab her. Dressed in his mama's clothes, holding a dagger. Luckily, Sam comes in and brings Bates to a stagger. Cut to the doc's office. He explains why Norman was so lawless. Norman got a split personality. He had a break in his mentality when he saw his mother with another guy, exercising her heterosexuality. He flipped and killed his mother and her lover with mass brutality. Now his mother controls his rationality, which causes Norman to cause fatality. We then see Norman showing some sentimentality. He says that he wouldn't hurt a fly. What we see is that Norman Bates is one fucked up guy.
Alright guys, like we said, we're gonna wrap up the Skeleton Crew Psycho Retrospective by touching on the Psycho remake, 1998. As a lot of you already know, we already kind of went in on this. On May 16th, 2012, we had the creator of the Psycho legacy himself, Rob G. He sat in with us. We went over the Psycho remake, how it compares to the original. I gotta say, it was probably one of my most enjoyable shows. It was one of the most fun conversations I ever had, and it was one of the most interesting discussions about Psycho and the remake and the versus kind of deal. So what I did was I went back, I went into that show, and I tightened it up, and I basically really kept everything that focused on the remake versus the original, kind of cut out all the rest of the stuff, and so there you have it. And I don't think we could even do better than this. Rob G came in, and he killed it, so this is the perfect way to end off this Psycho retrospective. So enjoy this little segment, and then after this, we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about all 4 Psycho movies for a little bit, what's coming on in the future of the show, and all that good stuff. So check this out and stick around for the end. We have on the show with us a very smart gentleman named Rob G. He's the man behind the Psycho Legacy, which is a documentary of Psycho and its 3 sequels. And proof that he's smart is that he knew to leave the Psycho remake out of this documentary. Welcome, Rob.
Oh, hi. Thanks. Thanks for having me.
We got the Psycho remake, 1998, starring Vince Vaughn and Anne Heche. Now, you see, this movie was kind of pointless because it was just basically shot almost shot for shot, and when you try to imitate something, you're gonna be directly compared to it. That's like one thing I ran into when I was expressing my dislike for the Halloween remake. It's that people were like, you have to separate it from the original, you know, in order to like it. And my answer to them was, no, Rob Zombie had to separate it from the original, and I would have liked it.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie fell short because he was in that whole tug-of-war battle with the Weinsteins, whether or not Halloween was going to be remade under his own vision or paying homage to the original, and the movie never really went one way or the other, so for that reason it fell flat. And the Psycho remake fell flat because the obvious reasons it was just creating a poor imitation. I think the only way to successfully remake a movie is to create a new vision while lightly referencing the original source material. You know what I mean? And that's not even a guaranteed success. You know, you still have to be a good movie.
Yeah.
What are your overall thoughts on this, first of all, Mr. G?
Well, you know, I mean, I watched it when it came out. I remember around 98 when it was getting ready to come out, I was really, you know, excited for it because there hadn't really been a Psycho film in a long time, and Perkins was at that point long gone. And, you know, I mean, I liked everything that Gus Van Sant had done up until then. I thought Vince Vaughn was an interesting choice, but I didn't exactly see it. So I was like, all right, well, you know, whatever. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. I understand the need to remake stuff, but it's you know, it's kind of like the point you're trying to make with Rob Zombie. Rob Zombie, I think, works for the first half because it's completely his own thing.
Right.
I think where that one struggles is the second half, because the second half tries to be the John Carpenter movie. And, you know, love it or hate it, at least Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, at least it's a Rob Zombie movie through and through, and not trying to remake, you know, an element of one of the, you know, movies. The Psycho, I mean, it's interesting in theory. I was excited about it at the time, and the theory completely failed. I mean, there's, you know, because it's like all the stuff I heard leading up to the release was intriguing. I mean, one aspect was, I heard that it was going to be shot for shot. Then I heard a rumor that it was going to be shot for shot up until the shower scene, and then from the shower scene on, it was going to go in a radical new direction. And then I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, oh, if they do that, that's kind of cool, because then you'll feel like you're watching the same movie, but then they'll go into new territory. And then the other argument was, well, you know, people do plays all the time using the same scripts and new actors. So what's the difference between, you know, trying to put on a stage show and remaking a movie like this? Like, can it be done? So it all sounded good on paper, but I think the biggest mistake was, it's because it's like they say it's shot for shot and they're sticking completely to the original, even to the point where if an actor did something that didn't fit the timing of the original movie, they'd reshoot it. Like, they had the DVD handy so that they could match the exact pacing and timing of the original, which to me seems kind of like preposterous. It's like, well, why don't you that way an actor is not concentrating on giving it a performance. They're trying to just do exactly the right timing of stuff, and it kind of distracts the actors.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they went into this like meticulous detail to recreate everything, yet they made some of the craziest changes. Like the new house, which I don't know why, like, it's like, hey, let's give him a new house that looks nothing like the original. Norman Bates should, you know, masturbate before he kills people and see clips from Nine Inch Nails videos or something. None of that ever made any sense to me. It's like, if you're going to make a change, go the full 9 and explain it. And if you're going to stay to the original, then stay to the original and don't add these weird asinine things to it.
Right.
So it's just weird. I don't know exactly what they were trying to do with that. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't work and it just doesn't work. You know, it's like if they completely updated it and redid it, I'd be kind of okay with like, all right, well, this is a different take.
Right.
But the other thing is, I mean, a script from 1960 doesn't play the same way in 1998. It's like some of that stuff is kind of corny now in retrospect.
Yeah.
I mean, it's of its time, but in 98, it's a little corny.
Exactly what you said. Why make certain changes if you're not going to even update the script to how people talk? For example, one scene I thought was really weird that they added in was Lila Loomis saying, "Let me go get my Walkman."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why make a Walkman reference if the rest of the time they're going to say words that people haven't said in 40 years?
Yeah. All the decisions they made on it just seem very odd. I don't get them.
They made the oddest decisions. Like you said, man, you know, they changed certain aspects of it. Like, I noticed, you know, the way, how much the car was and stuff like that. And they kept a lot of the same, but if they're trying to play it as 98, which they do in the beginning, they say it's 1998, and you're using the same dialogue, you know, that they did back then, it just doesn't gel. It just doesn't go well.
I think the most successful remakes are the ones where, like I said, they touch lightly on the source material. For example, I know a lot of people hate this, and this is probably a bad example, but House of Wax, I really liked it, but that's just my personal opinion. But the thing that's even better about it is that they didn't just recreate the Vincent Price, which is also a remake, but it's cool that they just took something loose, House of Wax, okay, and that's it. That's what you got to do with stuff like this. You could have done so much with Norman Bates. Let's start off with the positives. I do believe the camera was in focus. Okay, we're done. Now let's get to the bashing. No, no. Okay, let's go with a couple positives. The one thing that they did a little bit better than the original was when Norman hit Sam in the face with a golf club. That was probably the only scene that was like, wow, that was pretty badass. And
the sound effect was better.
Yeah, it was better, and it was better than that weird. It was better than that weird thing Norman hit. I forgot what he even hit him, like a tin can or something. I don't even,
yeah,
I don't even know what he hit him with. But Mike, what are your biggest problems with this movie? Why didn't this work? Besides what we already mentioned.
I did not like the masturbation before he killed Marion Crane, and I really didn't like. And I talked to you about this, you know, earlier today, Alex, when I said, before he goes down after he killed Marion to like clean it up, and he's walking out of the house and he's like, blood, 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 like it's like a dance number or something, and I don't get that. I hate that.
Yeah, that really bugged me too, Mike. Yeah, that drove me crazy, actually.
The acting was terrible. I felt like I was watching a bad school play of this movie. The acting started off. Rob, what did you think of the act? I know that you give a pass to William Macy.
William
H. Macy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
yeah, I mean, well, he's the only actor that doesn't seem like he's distracted by the whole timing of, like, trying to get the timing right of how the original actors performed it. So, you know, and he's just a really good actor. You could give him something like, all right, I need you to, you know, execute this paragraph of dialogue in 2 minutes. That's it. And he just had to pull it off. So he was really good. You know, but yeah, I mean, even Vince Vaughn, I would have been curious if he was able to kind of left his own devices to do his own version of Norman Bates. But it seems like they were all really, you know, kind of like put in a box to just copy exactly what had done before.
Right.
You know, I honestly, I'm trying to think of positives. I guess getting Danny Elfman to redo the score in 5.1.
That was
is
good.
A positive.
Yeah, that was good.
Is that? When I went to see it in theaters, I was just so disappointed because the thing is, when you watch the original movie, you don't know the twist. You know, I mean, maybe now you're a little bit more savvy. You've seen a lot of movies that have copied Psycho, and it'll seem strangely familiar when you're watching the original movie. But for the most part, when Norman comes out as Mother, you're like, whoa, that's insane. I had no idea. But I remember the first moment that Vince Vaughn came on screen, everyone was kind of snickering at the thing, and it was like they knew, like, oh, this guy's obviously psycho. Like, he's insane. So this is obviously the person that's going to be the killer. And more importantly, the reveal in the original is like one of those great shocking moments with the score and everything, the screeching violence. But then I remember in theaters, the second you saw Vince Vaughn with a blonde wig, which also didn't make sense, everyone started laughing. And I was just like, no, this is supposed to be the scary reveal. And everyone's laughing at Vince Vaughn in a blonde wig. It's not right. It doesn't feel right.
And I want to go back to Mike. Remember you talked about how you don't like that Norman was jerking off when Marion was getting undressed?
Right.
I think the funny part about it, and I always catch on to this stuff because I'm a nut, I think it was funny that he went at it for about 15 seconds and he seemed to finish.
Oh, yeah, dropping fucking loads.
Now,
that's a quick draw.
Yeah, I think he's competing with Judith Myers' boyfriend because at this point, I don't know who lasted longer.
Yeah, no, I wonder that myself, actually.
That doesn't adhere to the whole reason why Norman morphs over into the other personality is Mother is just, the mother personality of Norman Bates is extremely jealous. So the point is, as soon as he even remotely gets attracted to another woman, he turns into Mother. So he wouldn't even have a chance to masturbate. It's that, like in the original, he sees her kind of naked, and then he goes to the other room, and then he becomes Mother because Mother becomes insanely jealous of it. It's like he can't get sexually aroused and then become Mother. It's like that's what causes him to become Mother, is his sexuality. When he kind of gets into that mode and feels that aspect of himself, that's when he becomes Mother. So
yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
That's a very good point.
Well, and I think too with that whole thing, I think they were trying to update it for shock value mainly, and that's the deal. Like, it's a hard question too. But Rob, what do you think? Do you think it's the times too that it didn't play as well as the original?
Again, I know it's one of those movies that's just really difficult to figure out the decision-making process on it. Like, why would they do that? Everything else stays similar, but it's like, well, how can we shock people here? Masturbation is still pretty taboo in the 90s, so let's just show them doing that. I mean, I guess that's valid. I don't know why, as Mother, or as... I don't know why any psychopath, quote-unquote, would have visions of thunder and lightning and naked women from Nine Inch Nails videos and Rob Zombie, because
that really threw me off.
And I don't understand, what that even means, and I mean, the trailer hints at that, they're like, this is the mind of Norman Bates, I'm like, really? Because crazy people don't see that kind of shit when they're crazy.
Yeah.
They're either one personality that completely believes what they're doing, or they're the other that also completely believes what they're doing, so...
Dan, what were you talking about? When Arbogast was killed.
That's exactly what I was talking about. It looked like a Nine Inch Nails video when he was falling down the stairs. It really threw me off. There was a scene with a cow, and then, it was just odd in many different levels. To the point where it took me out of the movie, and I was like, what the hell is going on with this?
I thought that was Arbogast having flashbacks of, his life. Then I was like, well, I don't know. I'm not really sure what to make of that.
See, that's what I mean. What do you take from that? Right? Is it trying to say, in your last moments, things flash before your eyes that don't make sense? I mean, I've heard of that happening with people where they just see weird imagery, but they don't explain it. It doesn't fit in with the story. It's just odd. I don't know. It just rubs the wrong way.
That could be a valid theory that it's the character, but I mean, it happens during Marion Crane's death too.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
I mean, that's the thing. You have to assume it's Norman's mind because, I don't know, why would Marion and Arbogast see, a cow and a naked woman? I don't understand why that would. It doesn't make sense that that's their life flashing back. It looks more like crazy, imagery that they're trying to insinuate Norman sees.
Right. No, you're right. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think they said, let's just put random shit here. Who cares? Anybody have a cow? Anybody have a mailbox we could throw in here?
Bueller?
Yeah, a garden hose. But, what I was saying before, I felt no impact during scenes that were really pivotal. Like, Mike, when Norman was delivering the classic lines like, it'll be cold and damp like a grave, the light will go out.
Fire go out, be cold, damp, like a grave.
We're all in our private traps. We, claw only at the air, only at each other, and fall, but we never budge an inch. Tell me that.
It felt like he was reading it from a paper. It really did. There was no emotion behind it.
You know what I think? I think we're all in our private traps, clamped in them. We can never get out. Always scratch and claw, but only at the ear. Only at each other. And for all of it, you never budge an inch.
The only person that I felt exhibited any sort of emotion in the film was William H. Macy. Other than that, they were all just flat. They didn't... There was nothing.
Wouldn't it be better if you put her someplace?
You mean an institution? A madhouse? People always call a madhouse someplace, don't they? Put her in someplace.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it to sound uncaring.
What do you know about caring? Have you ever seen the inside of one of those places? The laughing and the tears. And the cruel eyes studying you. My mother there.
When Anthony Perkins delivered that line, you knew that shit hit the fan just now in this conversation. And you were like, oh shit. And Marion Crane knew it. We knew it. And you could see it. And you just hope that the next few words this guy says is going to be, he's going to calm down and go back to normal. When Vince Vaughn said it.
Do you mean an institution? A madhouse? People always call a madhouse someplace, don't they? Put her in someplace.
I didn't mean to sound uncaring.
What do you know about caring? Have you ever seen the inside of one of those places? The laughing and the tears and the cruel eyes studying you? My mother in there?
Did you notice that he couldn't even rely on his delivery to get that point across? He had to make that weird face like he was mad. He's like, a madhouse? What do you know about caring? Have you ever seen the inside of one of those places? The cruel eyes staring at you? Like, it was so bad, and he knew it, that he had to start making faces to show us he's mad. Or to get that thing across when Anthony Perkins did it just in his tone of voice and his delivery. He owned the role. And all of those scenes could have fell flat, as you just saw in this remake, but they didn't fall flat when Anthony Perkins did it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a testament to him as an actor.
Yeah, well, do you want to say that, or do you want to say that Vaughn could have done it had those lines been updated?
It really depends on the person that plays it and what kind of restraints they have on them.
Right.
And it seems like these guys had a lot of restraints. And the other thing is just, Anthony Perkins is a completely different type of actor than Vince Vaughn, and there's so much stuff that Perkins did that really solidified him as that character.
I don't know what I think. I didn't hate Vince Vaughn's, his whole role in that, because like Rob said, it seemed like he had restraints, and you can only work with what you're given, and it didn't seem like they had a lot of leeway, it being shot for shot, practically line for line. What do you do with that? You know what I mean? So I don't hate this movie, but it's almost like I see no point in why they would make it, that's all.
Yeah, and watching it the whole time, because I don't know if Rob knows this, I never watched it. I was hoping to die saying I never watched this.
Yeah,
but
it's my fault.
Yeah, Mike put me up to the challenge, and I purposely, I wouldn't even watch the trailer. Like, they're like, dude, just check out the shower scene in the trailer, whatever. I wouldn't even do it. I said, I'm not watching this piece of shit. And I ended up doing it for the show, but, whatever. You know what I was just really wondering? When they were doing those flashes and visions, why didn't they put the car salesman's hair in there? Wouldn't that have been the scariest thing they could have shown?
Yeah, would have been good.
Was that not scary or
Quite
what?
possibly.
Yeah.
Back to William H. Macy. I disagree with Rob and Mike, because to me, he just didn't have that face that made you go, oh shit, this guy's going to ruin my life. Like,
for real?
He didn't have the intimidation factor.
Dude, watch his parts again. Oh, I forget the guy that played him in the original. I forget his name.
I know, I was just trying to say that.
Martin Balsam.
He's that's
fine.
it. Yeah.
He's fine, but he doesn't. Nobody in it really compares to anybody in the original in terms of acting ability. Because again, Vince Vaughn's not on his game on this, because he must have been limited by what Gus Van Sant wanted him to do. But if you go back to the original and watch the scene of Arbogast interrogating Norman and just Balsam and Perkins together, that's like one of the greatest examples of, that's just some of the finest acting ever captured on film. Like, those guys are so good together.
Absolutely, dude.
And a lot of it was them recommending, in particular Perkins recommending how he wanted them to kind of keep stumbling over each other's words, even though it might interfere with their coverage, the way they would normally shoot it. But yeah, no, Hitchcock was totally for it, and it turned out to be, it's a great moment.
Oh, I think perfect. I mean, when that scene, the interrogation, like, you felt like you were on the hot seat, didn't you? I mean, like, you lived through Norman during that entire scene, and you were like, oh shit, come on, don't mess up. Keep your game face. And when Vaughn did it, and this other guy, Macy, I just felt like it was two guys rehearsing lines. Now, this might be a case of, well, you're just comparing it to the original. You gotta, like, separate yourself, but you can't. I think that's the major problem here. There's no way out of it. There's no way out of it. You have to.
Yeah, it's one of those rare movies that it's just so influential and so original that it's really impossible to separate it. And that's kind of the way I approach, I mean, a lot of the newer remakes, I always have a tough time the first time I watch them because of that. But I've been able to separate them and enjoy them for what they are. But this is one of those rare occasions where it's really, really hard. Really, really hard to differentiate the original and your memory of the original and the remake, because it's that indelible.
Yeah. Do you watch this movie for fun ever or no?
Which one, the remake?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I own it, and I saw it when it came out, and I watched it, I think, around the time that I was doing Psycho Legacy, and I thought I might be interviewing people from it, but every time I put it on, it honestly just feels like a waste of time to me. It's like, well, why am I going to watch this for the next 90 minutes when I'd rather watch the first one over again, or any of the sequels, which I think are superior to it. So there's better things to do with my time than to revisit the remake. I don't really enjoy all that much.
My hobby is stuffing things. Taxidermy. Yeah. I guess I'd rather stuff birds. Well, because I hate the look of beasts when they're stuffed. Foxes and chimps. Some people even stuff dogs and cats. I couldn't do that. No, I think only birds look well stuffed because they're kind of passive to begin with.
I don't know. Just things like the Bates Motel sign I thought was terrible.
Oh, well, yeah, you know what? The motel itself was terrible. The motel, the house, but we talked about the house. Well,
yeah,
Rob
we talked about that.
On the house, but the house was horrible. The motel was horrible.
Vince Vaughn's fake laughing was terrible. The actors who played Mr. Lowry and Cassidy, the two guys in the bank, absolutely terrible. How can you not even play a jerk correctly? I don't get it. Like, while I was watching this, just like Rob, I just wanted to turn it off and watch Psycho 3, dude. I really, and the movie was an insult to the music, in my opinion, and they didn't even hit the cues right. Even when Norman killed Marion in the shower, wasn't the music cue off there?
I mean, that's impossible to recreate. I can't imagine how. I know they were trying to go shot for shot, but
the music was off.
It's one of those magical. Yeah, I mean the music, but then again, it's like it's got to be a couple seconds off just because they they threw in those weird random shots.
Right.
Stuff. So right there, you're gonna throw it off. It's not gonna match the original cue.
Yeah.
But I mean, that would have been impossible to try to recreate anyway.
Exactly.
No matter how many storyboards you put aside for it, because it's one of those magical moments in movies that just I can't. I don't even know if Hitchcock could have redone it.
Yeah. As I sat there, it just dawned on me that I wonder who I would be today if that was my first introduction to Norman Bates. That's all I wonder, because it was that bad. But either way.
Rob, what's your favorite Psycho movie out of the franchise?
What's my favorite? That's a tough question. I kind of love them all for my own reasons, which is why I even made a documentary about all of them. The original is a classic, so that's obviously the best movie. But I don't know. I tend to go back and forth between 2 and 3.
Yes.
2 is great. 2 is a great sequel. I'm not crazy about the ending. It's a great ending and it's fun. But then I kind of have a weird soft spot for 3, which I know is one of the least liked by fans, or maybe the younger fans seem to like it a lot. But I don't know. 3 seems like fun through Norman's eyes, and that was always intriguing to me growing up. And it had a little bit of extra speed in it. 3 is usually the one I'll go to watch. So wow. I'll say 3, just a tiny bit over 2.
Mike, you know how happy that makes me, right?
I know.
Now I want to ask you. You released the Psycho Legacy, which is, like I said, a documentary on all 4 Psycho movies. You released this on October 19th, 2010. How did it go? What's the reception like?
Yeah, no, I mean, from what I understand, it did really well for Shout Factory. And even now, 2 years later, we're still trying to get it out into other parts of the world. It came out, unbeknownst to me, it came out in Germany on Blu-ray, which is weird because we shot it before the Blu-ray format even existed, so it's not in HD, it's in standard def. So I don't know how they managed to release an HD version of it when it doesn't exist. But, and we're trying to get it hopefully on TV somewhere by October of this year, like for this Halloween, and I'm sure, again, the new movie, which I think is just called Hitchcock now,
yeah,
will hopefully draw a lot of attention to it and kind of keep bringing fans back to that original franchise. I mean, as far as my part in it, like, mission accomplished. I did what I wanted to do, which was just remember and honor those movies and turn people back onto them. You know, I still get people all the time like, oh, there's a Psycho 2 and 3, I didn't even know. And then I force my movie on them, and then they pick it up and they go and buy it. I mean, ironically enough, earlier today, my buddy A.J. Bowen, who's a fine actor in several movies the last 2 years, he texted me this morning saying, hey man, was just taking a break, watched Psycho Legacy, and I ran to Amoeba to buy Psycho 2, 3, and 4.
Awesome.
So it's nice to know that people, even friends of mine, like, still see my doc and are like, you know what, I should own those movies.
Well, Rob, I've seen them before. I've seen all the movies before, but honestly, until I saw your documentary, that really got me excited again to watch them again. And I loved them, and it made me take another closer look at them, and, you know, that all goes to you, sir, so bravo.
That's all. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Again, mission accomplished. And I don't know if you guys knew about it, and I don't think it's a secret, so whatever, I'll tell you. But I've been working on the book version of it for a little while now, which is probably going to take me quite a while. But there will be a book version of Psycho Legacy at some point in the not-too-distant future.
Good.
I'll buy it.
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
I'll buy it. I'll support all this.
I mean, the Psycho Legacy book is taking up a lot of my time. It's going to be different than what the documentary was because I want them both to complement each other. And I don't want anybody to feel like they're buying the same thing twice because it's totally not going to be that. But it's going to be along the lines of the Crystal Lake Memories book, which is like this nice hardcover, like coffee table book that featured all the interviews completely unedited and uncut. And the nice thing about the Psycho Legacy book is I've been able to go back and get newer interviews with people that weren't in the movie because, obviously with the movie I had to physically meet them to shoot the interview, but if you're doing a book, you could just get them on the phone for a few minutes. So I've already spoken to Dennis Franz from Psycho 2, and I got a new interview with him about Psycho 2 exclusively for the book. And, so I mean, the book is the main thing, and, we'll see. We'll see what else is in store.
Most important of all, I know it won't be in your documentary, but Tony lived for his wife, his sons. And he gave 100%. He was honest. He was honest to his craft. He never lied to anybody. And he passed on with dignity. He lived his life to the fullest. I was there in his last breath. I was there. And I was blessed. There'll never be another Tony. Never. I would never try to pretend to be him. Just a great man.
How could a god who made all this beautiful stuff in the world also make things that are scary and evil?
Norman has been through a lot. He's a sensitive boy.
You're different, aren't you?
What's so different about me?
This is our chance to start over.
It's all gonna be good, Norman.
And action!
We're not remaking Psycho. We're using it as an inspiration.
This show will challenge everything that you think you know. It's an incredible reimagining of the original Psycho.
You don't think about the future or what's going to happen when you grow up?
Bates Motel takes place in a contemporary world.
We're bringing Norman Bates into high school and he's got to move off early.
We own a motel, Norman Bates.
The locations are just breathtaking.
Every time that I see the set, it blows my mind.
This town looks really beautiful on the outside, but underneath it is something very dark and malevolent.
Now get the hell off my property, or I will shoot you myself.
The people involved, I think, are fantastic.
We were incredibly lucky to get this stellar cast, led by Vera Farmiga and Freddie Highmore.
Freddie Highmore, he's superb. He had this innocence, and then he could go really dark.
You said you wanted me to have a life here.
Don't lose your temper at me, Norman! The writing is such a blast. It takes these crazy turns.
Mom, what are we gonna do?
It's suspense-filled all the way through, but still you just feel so much for these characters.
Every member of the crew is excited to read the next script.
I'm dying to read the rest of the episodes.
They're page turners. You just can't wait to find out what's happening.
Dad!
There's a lot of surprises. There's a lot of twists and turns.
It's scary and funny and surprising. This massive thing happens in the pilot.
There's something here you need to see.
I don't know how far I can go into it.
I don't know how to do this without, like, how does Amy feel about spilling the beans here?
I think we've kind of said enough.
You have to watch it.
I love you, Norman.
I love you too, Mom.
Alright guys, it was great checking into the Bates Motel, getting cabin 1, tearing it up, and I'm drunk.
You can check in, but you can't check out, bitch.
I was gonna make that joke, but I wasn't
What?
going to rap it, so I guess you beat me.
I'm a rap it. I'm a crap it. Yeah, we're all kind of fucked up on this episode.
Oh, yes, I am. Sorry.
Well, I mean, all right.
Jamie is just for being here.
Let's just put it this way, okay? You're looking down the barrel of Psycho 4. What would you do?
Pull the trigger.
You drink. You get fucked up. Like, what would you do?
Yeah, listen, the happiness of Psycho 4 is at the bottom of a bottle. Let's face it. Alright, but listen, let's end on a high note. Screw Psycho 4. We just talked about 3 really badass movies. Psycho Man, Psycho 2, and by the way, I watched Psycho again for no reason at all last night.
Rock on, dude.
Yeah, I rule. So that was cool. Just, jumping in there for a little bit last night. And we talked about 3 good movies, man. Psycho 2 is cool. Hits a lull, whatever. Still cool. Great scenes. Really great scenes.
Psycho 2 is okay. Psycho 3 is definitely the better sequel out of all of them. And I have to say Psycho 4 is probably the worst.
Not probably.
Definitely.
There you go.
And one of us might be wrong here and there, but when the 3 of us are right, we're right.
Hot sauce, thank you.
Let's wrap it up. How do you rank the movies in order? I guess, obviously, you guys are both going to pick 1, you're both going to pick 3, then 2, then 4, right? Or does Jamie put 2 first?
I put 2 first.
Really?
Not first.
I mean, you know what I mean. Before 3.
Okay, my ranking is, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Yeah, that's solid though. 1, 3, 2, 4. Yeah.
Gee, this is hard because were we saying best or favorite?
Well, that's what I was thinking too. All right. Okay, so let's go best.
Okay, best. Okay, 1, 3, 2, 4.
Right.
Favorite. 3, 1, 2, 4.
Agreed. I totally agree with you. How about you, Jamie? What's your favorites?
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's like that, y'all. It's like that, y'all. It's like that. It's like that, y'all.
Jaws is perfect, and it's my favorite.
That's right.
Jaws is perfect.
So to Jamie, the best ones are her favorites. See, I don't like that, Jamie. What is with you? What, no one's good enough for you? Only the best?
Yeah, one of my favorite movies ever is Rawhead Rex, so don't give me crap.
Wow.
I know, right?
All right.
And I'm one of the people who likes the Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Oh, get out of here with that. Stop trying to make us talk about that piece of shit.
Oh,
Jamie.
I'm scared. I left people in there.
Jamie, if you ever come up to good old Massachusetts, you gotta
There
come.
are so many things I'm gonna do.
and then we'll leave the room.
Yeah, Dan will be the reciprocant.
We gotta go on the Jaws, little expedition too. And my buddy's got a fat boat, dude. I fucking cruise it all the time. Like, wow, a fake shark was here.
That's a date. You're gonna take me out.
It's fucking great, dude. I'm such a dork.
Yeah.
A big rubber shark. You know what I noticed?
That
Awesome. Shut up, Alex. I think that is
Somebody posted all 4 Jaws covers on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I never noticed that Jaws makes that face on every single one of them.
Does it? It's the same one.
Yeah, where he like rises up.
And he's got the eyes on this big fucking head.
And his mouth is open. Close your mouth, you dummy.
I told you I met that lady. She's an old lady now. She's got to be, at least in her 80s, man. Well, maybe not least, but yeah, 70s or 80s. In the first movie, the first chick that gets killed.
Yeah.
I'm drunk, sorry. Go home, Dad. You're drunk.
I got yelled at one time for doing a show drunk.
Did you? Wow.
When I was on Rabbit and Red, Mike and Vince really disapproved of me being drunk on a show. And the funny thing is, we were on Blog Talk.
Alex, this is very important to the Blog Talkers.
I've come no further.
Yeah, man. Dude's got good taste,
Thanks. And so do you with Scream, except for Part 3, but you don't like that, so you have good taste.
We're alright, man. We're just about there. We're on the same page, I think, on that, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, and plus, Jamie's doing a Scream retrospective. It's not going to be like Blackula, is it, though?
What? In what way?
Like you name the whole show after it, and you talk about it for 15 minutes.
No, I think
It goes by with a blink of an eye.
No, I think we got at least 20 out of this one.
Oh, good.
Wow. Damn, dude.
No,
Wow.
I'm kidding. I was about half of them. After we do the news, and then we do the one movie, and then we get to that movie, and then we've got, I don't know, there are just a lot of different...
Yeah, it's like the instant queue ones go by quicker, I think.
Yeah, they do. We don't put as much discussion into those.
I feel like I told Dan months ago, if we're going to do anything, let's go all the way every time, because I don't think we're going to revisit.
Yeah, let's go all the way.
Yeah, we're not going to revisit anything, so why not, explore the thing?
Walk out with your cock out, hang out with your wang out, dude.
I don't know. So, I remember watching them and writing, I was like, wow, Psycho 2 was so good. I can't wait to see what happens next. Because he started up the motel again and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember watching Psycho 3, man, and I was like, this might be one of my favorite franchises ever. If it's this good, 3 in a row, this shit is great.
Yeah, man.
And then I got to Part 4, and I guess that's why I'm weird about that, because I didn't have a cynical view.
Right.
And I'm not saying that just because I started doing these shows that I just view everything very negatively, well, what is this? What is that? Why is he doing that? I don't do that shit. You must know that by now.
Right.
But I guess hearing the logic of you two, it really does wake me up to the fact that it's really not good.
Yep, but hey,
I just didn't notice it though.
Yeah, but that's because you like the series so much, and like we said before, no guilty pleasures around here, man. If you like that shit, you know, it's like, fuck it. And even if you know it's bad now, it's like, you can't take away the fucking good feelings you got when you saw it before and shit. This was the Psycho 4 was the first one I ever saw. Exactly, you know,
What was that like, though, when you first saw it? Tell the truth. Did you know it was bad when you first saw it, though?
I didn't know. I thought it was a good movie. I didn't know. I thought it was weird when he was rolling around with that. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? But, you know, going back, looking at it and everything, it's like, clearly, it's the worst. Not the... I hate to...
No, of the 4, it is, obviously.
It is. I don't like to fucking degrade movies to that, because I think all movies are fucking great, to be perfectly honest with you. Well, you know... Well, now we're talking in 2013. There's a good majority of movies that I think are good, and I would never degrade them to say anything like, oh, you know, these people should fucking, you know, quit their jobs or anything like that. Like, no, man, they're good flicks, and my personal taste doesn't exactly adhere to that, or vice versa, or however the fuck you say that. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
So, Jamie, what do you think overall? Like, you know, you said you don't really think of Psycho as a horror franchise, and...
Well, I mean, I do consider them horror. I just, you know, they always evade me when I'm thinking of horror franchises. You know, I just don't.
But will they again?
No, I think now I probably will consider them.
So, you know, the big thing, of course, coming up is the year show. We've been at this for 1 year, April 2nd.
Wow.
Jamie, you have been with us in spirit.
Jamie, wow.
I never thought a year later that we'd still be here, but we have not been fired yet.
And you know, I posted something on Facebook, guys. If you guys are listening to this, fucking leave voicemails, dude. You know, this is the year show. Tell us what you think. Tell us fucking how you feel about it. You know, favorite moments, anything, dude. You know, we're trying to celebrate here. It's fucking a celebration, bitches.
Yeah, we want you all to be a part of it. I know a lot of people are shy. They're probably not going to do it. They're shy, or they just...
I've talked to a lot of people. That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
like...
man, leave a voicemail, dude. We'll fucking rock them all. It's going to be a party atmosphere, dude. I know I can speak for myself and my other co-hosts here. We're all going to get shit-faced for this show, man. We just want to celebrate everything. So, everybody leave...
Yeah, and we want everybody there with us.
Exactly, man. That's all it is, bro. So... You know, we try not to, we've been trying to incorporate people, but it's kind of been tough in a sense because we got so much shit to do. So now's your chance, man. Fucking, you know, hit that number up and it's going to come out good, man. It's good shit.
To leave a voicemail, guys, it's 908-854-4500.
Now get a pen. Get a pen?
Get a pen. Ready? One more time.
All right, Alex, do it again. You got a pen? All right.
Yo, the Skeleton Crew voicemail is 908-854-4500. You better leave a message. Be my hero.
Yeah.
Wiki, wiki.
Wiki, wiki.
So there you go. So we hope you enjoyed the Psycho Retrospective. I know we all did. It was a really great time. Really good stuff. Thank you, Norman Bates, Anthony Perkins. You are the man, and you can never be replaced. Although we'll have to get a body double for my Psycho 5, and no, it's never going to be made, is it?
Hey, I'll read it. If it's half as good as your Friday the 13th one, I'm down.
Thanks, man.
No problem, man. I just gave a thumbs up to my microphone. Nobody saw it, but it was funny to me.
I did that too, actually. Isn't that weird?
Wow, creepy.
Jamie?
Yes?
You did an excellent job. Did you ever think that you would fit into this gaggle of ass wipes?
Yes, sadly. Sadly, I knew it.
Gaggle of ass wipes. That is classic.
When you listened to us for all those months, did you go, you know what? These guys are a little weird. But I could do this.
Yeah, no, I wanted to be there.
And now that you're here, what do you think?
I want to be away.
Yeah, the grass is always greener, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, and the shackles are always looser. in someone else's dungeon.
Not here, bitch.
No, I'm happy. I'm very
Good.
happy.
That's good. That's great.
I'm drunk.
I'm drunk.
I know.
We love you, Duke. Great character. Little strange. You're a strange guy. But we love you.
Go home, Alex. You're drunk.
Marion Crane, you have a lot of issues, but you came out on top, but you just didn't mean it. I guess it didn't mean anything, really, in the end. And for you, that hydrocephalic head bitch in the bank, pop another pill, sweetie, because you're going to need it.
Pop another tranquilizer.
Yeah, I think when you wake up tomorrow, there will be a mirror in front of you, so you're going to need that. And for Arbogast...
Arbogast.
I take back what I said. I watched you fall down the stairs last night, and it was alright. It was alright, bro.
Cool, man.
Good job falling down the stairs.
Yeah, you didn't fall with every step, but you fell alright. And Maureen, you didn't do it as well. And for part 4, there's nothing about you that's really that cool.
Go home, part 4. You're drunk. Just go home.
Good night, Norman. No, Norman will always live on, and it'll live on in the Bates Motel A&E TV series. Everybody watch that. We're going to be reviewing that every show.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
Unless there's a special, like this retrospective, we will review that in every show. So
Yes,
look forward to
sir.
it. And that's the end. So this is Alex.
Dan.
And Jamie.
Smooth.
Isn't that
guys.
isn't that the coolest, corniest exit?
You know what's funny about that, Alex?
What?
We've
Him
been through-
whispering in the background the cues.
That was no, that's actually new. But you know what's funny about that? We're in the upper 40s show, whatever. We have yet to get that right.
Can you believe that? How many times?
Can't do it.
This is Alex. You would think that you would say this is Dan like immediately after that.
We're gonna
but you
make a
don't.
promise to all the listeners. By the 100th show, we will get this right.
Yeah, and then we're done.
I don't know if we'll all be here by then, but it's the 100th show.
Okay, guys. So remember, everyone, grab cabin 1. Okay, let's get out of here.
All right.
Well, you'll figure
Bye,
it.
everyone.
See ya.
Peace.